So let's spiral back. Same exercise, advance lunge, slow, fast. 5 times, watch me this time. Slow, fast, recover and retreat. Ready? Face your target. Go, slow, fast, recover and retreat. Go, slow, fast, recover and retreat. Remember, your arm is extending, but it's not extended until the very end. So it's all one continuous, fluid motion. 3 more. Go, slow, fast, recover and retreat. Go, slow, fast, recover and retreat. 1 more. Slow, fast, recover and retreat. Relax. Another kind of footwork you can do is called a balestra. Balestra is an Italian word. It means a jump lunge. The difference between an advanced lunge and a balestra is the nature of the first step. An advance is just what it says, advanced lunge. A balestra is a jump. You're just barely off the ground. You jump forward and you have both feet down and then you lunge instantly. So it's a little like landing on an electrified plate or something where the shock gets you and your feet go right off the bat. It looks like this. In slow motion, I wish I could do this in real slow motion, I jump forward, barely off the ground, both my feet land about the same time. It's almost like I grip them like I have claws, like a cat. But then instantly my front foot shoots off again. So here's the jump, and there's my foot, and there's my lunge. Watch and listen to the rhythm. Go, jump, foot in the air, lunge. Jump, foot in the air, and lunge. The jump, both feet, the kick for the lunge. Let's practice just the jump, not the lunge, just the jump, not the lunge. It's kind of odd. In some ways, it's like you've tied your toes to your finger and you're going to pull it and jump. So you jump forward, this foot goes out this way. It's not this, it's this. Not this way like a horse, but this way like a marionette, like one of those puppets on strings. Just the jump, not the lunge. Ready? Jump. Jump. This one you can watch me, of course, not the target. Jump. 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 Again, this time let's have jump and then raise the foot, so it looks like this. And down. Jump up and down. Jump up and down. You'll notice the rhythm is not slow, fast, it's super fast. Go, jump up and down. Go, jump and down. Go, foot up and down. This is a little hard. It's not that natural motion. It's not like regular jumping. So it takes practice, of course. We'll do 5 of those. A balestra, a jump lunge. This is meant for when your opponent is just a little bit too far away, not quite within lunge distance, and you really want to surprise her, so you do a jump lunge. Face your target and do a jump lunge with me. Ready? Go. And back. That's 1. Go. Jump lunge. That's 2. Go. Jump lunge. That's 3. Go. Jump lunge. That's 4. Go. Jump lunge. That's 5. Okay, and relax. Let's talk a little bit about blade work. Again, my beginning intermediate students know this. A 1-2 is 2 disengages. Disengage where you pass under your opponent's blade by making the letter U. So take your blade, whether it's this kind of handle or this kind of handle, and hold it with just your first 2 fingers and your thumb. That's essentially where you get your manipulation, that is, where you can make your point move very quickly. Your ring finger makes some stability, helps sort of keep it intact. But the key is your pinky must not be involved. You must not do what your instinct tells you and grip with your pinky like a bird. Your pinky stays out of the picture. That keeps you from tightening up. If you tighten up, within 20 seconds your hand will be too fatigued to do anything properly. So, take your foil as we did last week. You can make big motions using just very loose fingers, whichever kind of foil you have. Now make circles with your foil and start extending your arm so it looks about to here. Circles pretty big still. In reverse direction. Now let's spiral in and make them quite small. About the size of a dessert plate perhaps, or even smaller, of a tea saucer. Now make the letter U. Very loose, fully extended arm. Now write your name in the air. Very loose finger work. So we're going to do an advanced lunge with a 1-2, which I believe we did last week. If this is you holding a foil, you're going to advance and you're going to feint. Feint means fake attack. It's spelled F-E-I-N-T. Doesn't mean faint like fainting on the floor. It's a fake attack. You feint here, kind of under the arm. Now I don't know where you are. That's one disengage. You passed under the blade. And then there's the second disengage where you come and you hit. That's why it's called a 1-2. 1 is the first disengage under the hand. 2 is the second disengage to the chest. So from your point of view, it sort of looks like this. 1, 2. 1, 2. The classical method, and you can do it, is a high 1 up here to get me to come back so you can avoid me. But I think it's better to go to this gray area where you really don't know where. I don't know where you're going to go. You could go under here, you could come out here. 1, 2. So the advance goes with the 1, the lunge goes with the 2. They're coordinated. Advance 1, 2. Let's try that. If I were you, in your position, see if you can see this. Advance 1, there's my disengage. Advance 2, there's my second disengage. I'm making them extra big so you can see, but of course in real fencing you don't want them that big. Again, advance 1, disengage, kind of under the arm. Lunge 2, second disengage, back to the chest, and recover. Once more, advance 1 under the arm, and then a second disengage under the parry and hit on the chest. So it's like making the letter U twice. And it looks like this. Watch me. Advance 1, there's my first disengage. And 2 is with the lunge. That's my second disengage. Watch again. Advance 1, disengage under the arm or the hand. Second disengage with the lunge. 2 more. Watch this. Advance 1, 2. Advance 1, 2. And of course, since an advanced lunge is an accelerated attack, the rhythm is this. Advance 1, 2. I surprise my opponent. Advance 1, 2. Once more. Advance 1, 2. Okay, face your target. Get an advanced lunge distance. And get ready. With me on my command. Go. Advance 1, 2. I'm going to say disengage also. Advance, disengage 1, disengage 2 with the lunge. Advance, disengage 1, lunge 2. So I'll use that terminology. We'll do 5 more. Advance, disengage 1, lunge 2. Recover and retreat. Advance, disengage, lunge. Second disengage, 1 is 2. Go. Advance 1, disengage, lunge 2. Recover, retreat. Advance 1, disengage, lunge 2. Make sure you're using your fingers, not your arm. Last one. Go. Advance 1, disengage, lunge 2. And recover and relax. So again, there's a lot to think about in fencing, very complicated, but if you're making motions with your blade, you want them to be small. Like I said this last week, obviously motions made from your shoulder are quite big. Motions made from your elbow are somewhat smaller. Motions made from your wrist are smaller still, but still kind of big. Motions made from your fingertips are quite small. And as you can see, the tip of the foil, super fast. So now I'm going to take the camera and show you a chart I made here, and we'll talk about that. This is probably more for the intermediate students, but if you're really new to the sport or this looks difficult, just listen and see what you can get. Maybe a parent can help you. So you're facing your opponent, and she's on guard in 6. She makes a 4 parry. She goes straight across the chest, but you are clever and you have disengaged. So now you are sort of here. But she decides she's going to make a circle. She makes a big circle to catch anything you throw at her. It's like a big net when you're fishing. That has a name. It's called a 4 counter 4. In this case, the word counter means circle. Some coaches call it 4 circle 4. So again, you're here, you make an attack. Sorry, she's there, you are making the attack. She makes a 4 parry. You are clever, you disengage, you think you're gonna hit her here, but instead of coming back this way to block you, she decides to make a circle and catch you. And so you'd end up exactly where you were before. Hope that makes sense. So she's on guard, you attack, she makes a 4 parry, you disengage, so you're here ready to hit, but she is clever, makes a circle 4 or a counter 4, catches you on the blade, and then hits. I'm gonna show you that with my foil. The difference here is this: the terminology used in some sports is man-to-man, or we'll say player-to-player, versus zone. It's true in basketball and soccer. If you have player-to-player, you have player on team A, player on team B, and they're covering each other, trying to keep them from getting the ball. If you have zone, you spread out your whole team to cover an area of the field or an area of the court. It's the same in fencing. If I'm here, let me get my foil. If I'm here and you attack me, my player-to-player defense is this. I do 1 foil against 1 foil. But if you're coming at me making a lot of movements and I can't find you, I might make a zone defense, which is hard to demonstrate. I might make a circle and catch you in my net, so to speak. So this looks like this. You attack, I parry 4, you disengage. Uh-oh, I could come back to 6, maybe I'd catch you. I could do a windshield wiper. But in this case, I've missed the first one. I'm gonna make a big zone defense by making a big circle. Like I said, hard to show. A big circle from here, I circle back, and I catch you where I would have caught you if I'd been successful the first time. So it looks like that drawing I made. Watch it. If you're attacking me, I go 4, counter 4, and back to 6. 4, counter 4, and back to 6. If you think of the tip of your foil being a marker on a wall or a chalk on a chalkboard, you make that kind of loop I showed you. You go straight, then you make a loop. From your point of view, if you're right-handed, you go 4 straight across, then you make a counter 4. For right-handers, counter 4s are counterclockwise. That is, if you had a clock in front of you, you go 12 and around this way, 12, 11, 10, and so forth. So practice this from the 4 position. Just make a circle from the 12 o'clock position on the clock to the top of the clock over and over. Counter 4, counter 4, counter 4. If you want to be a really good learner, you will say the words counter 4 as you do them. That way both your body and your brain are engaged in learning. Counter 4, counter 4, counter 4. Come back to the 6th position. Now go 4 straight, counter 4, circle, and back to 6. 4 straight, counter 4, circle, and back to 6. 4 straight, counter 4, circle, and back to 6. If you are a lefty, it's a mirror image of that. This is your 6th position. So you're in 6, now you're in 4 over here, and you make a clockwise circle. If you have a clock, you just follow the way the second hand sweeps around the face. Then back to 6. 4, counter 4, 6. 4, counter 4, 6. 4, counter 4, and back to 6. So that's all we'll do on that for today. There is another combination that's sort of like it, but we'll just do one at a time. It's again, the principle here is either it's player to player, I try to find a specific parry, or if, for example, I'm desperate, I may just throw up 2 circles or whatever I can just to keep things difficult, like putting a huge tangle of barbed wire in front of an attack. You just make things mess up. That's why these compound parries are used, and that's why they're called compound parries. All right, the next to last thing we'll do is riposte from the lunge position. That means this. I advance lunge, I stay in my lunge, I put my arm back to the parry 4, and I make a riposte. I come back to 4, and I recover. I'll break that down again. Advance lunge, I stay here. I come back to 4 to protect my chest. I make my own riposte. I come back to 4 again. I bend this leg and recover and take a retreat. So I'll call it, you face your target. Ready? Go. Advance lunge, stay in the lunge. Parry 4, riposte, come back to 4, Bend your leg, recover, and retreat. On guard. Go. Advance lunge, stay in the lunge. Parry 4. Riposte. Come back to 4 again. Bend your leg, recover, and retreat. Go. Advance lunge, stay in the lunge. Parry 4, riposte. Parry 4 again, or rather come back to 4, recover, and retreat. Go. Advance lunge, stay in the lunge. Parry 4, riposte. Come back to 4, recover, and retreat. 2 more. Go. Advance lunge, stay in the lunge. Parry 4, riposte. Come back to 4, bend your legs to recover, and retreat. Last one. Advance lunge, stay in the lunge. Parry 4, riposte. Come back to 4, recover, and retreat, and relax. If you want to learn these skills, obviously you need to practice them several times a week, not just once with me in this video. So you of course can do them on your own. You're welcome to watch the videos many times as you want, obviously. And sometimes it's helpful to have someone call it out to you rather than having to do it yourself. So we will end with a review of the parry positions, which we did last week. You can find these online, and I gave many of the people in my class a paper copy some weeks ago. So it's a very peculiar numbering system, doesn't make a whole lot of sense, I think. So the on guard position is 6, and the chest, inside chest line, high line is 4. So that's 6 and 4, those are very standard. So do that, 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4. The low line are 7 and 8. They have French names septime and octave. So septime is here below 4, and octave is here below 6. If it helps you to think of it, think of 4/7 as a fraction and 6/8 as a fraction. So we'll do the first 4, and here your hand is supine, that is your thumb is about at 1 or 2 o'clock on a clock face. 6, 4, 7, 8, 6, 4, septime or 7, octave or 8. I use these old terms because that's the ones I learned growing up. 6, sixte is the old one. 4, quarte is the old French term, like a quart, 4, septime, and octave. In all 4 of the positions, your hand is more or less supine, that is, palm up. Supination is the noun for that. These have a corresponding set of positions where your hand is prone, where it's face down, which sometimes you want if you're hitting someone in the flank, for example. So here's 6. Now we turn it, it's tierce or 3. Fairly natural, it's like you're giving a karate chop to the bad guy. Cant or 5, that's Q-U-I-N-T. And that's here, it's the forward position, but it's turned and kind of dropped. The weird one is prime, where you are pointing your elbow at your opponent and you cock your wrist kind of like a bird. And you're going to hit him or her like this. That's sort of odd, but very useful at times. And then second or 2 is pretty natural. It's like slapping a mosquito off your leg. So let's do it again. Tierce or 3, cant or 5, prime, and then second. I think I said last week, I've heard it said that prime, meaning 1 or first, is called it because that's the first position when you draw your sword out of the scabbard. I don't think that's necessarily true, but if it helps you remember, feel free. We'll run these right quick and then we'll have to end. 6, tierce or 3, 4, cant or 5, septime or 7, prime, octave, my hand is up, supine, second or 2. So those are the 8 parry positions. Look them up online if you're not sure and memorize them so you know exactly what we mean. Any of these can be circles, counter 4, counter septime, counter octave, counter prime. All of them have the same ability to make circles, though some are more common than others. Okay, I hope you have a great week. Stay safe. Do practice this. Keep yourself fit.